Hello, boys and girls. Hello, everybody. Let's get this show on the road. Alrighty. I should be able to see the screen. Sorry it took so long. I was gone on the weekend. Was a bit busy, not feeling well. It's just kind of a mix of things, and the market wasn't all that exciting, so I didn't bother actually going live. Hope you're all doing well. Looks like it's going to be more of a private show this time around, like we're four and a half people, basically. Hi, Blackberry. Hi, Michalis and Danny. Hello, hello. Well, if it's going to be a private show, it's going to be a private show. I ain't going to cry about it. Now, we're gonna do is Lucas. Hello, hello, hello. We're gonna go over. Today's gonna be rather quicker than usual because within the beginning of the next hour, I need to go to Tom's Academy live, and then we're gonna have a hangout with my community afterwards. So, with my Patreons and so forth. So this is gonna be rather quick. We're gonna run through the S&P, our usual gig. Maybe look at the ticker or two, and then adjourn this meeting. Today, honestly, I just didn't want to stay offline for too long. I just really feel like hanging out with you guys and just doing the whole live. I really enjoyed, and I had sessions to do everything I had to take care of. Otherwise, I would have done that earlier. But honestly, if to this sort of make a decision based upon what the market is doing, I don't know if I would have even wanted to go live today because let's be honest about this. This is a nothing burger. We've opened up the day and we've done nothing today. Basically moved sideways. So, I mean, yeah, we got nothing. It's quite a nothing burger all in all. No matter how you look at it, we pretty much got nothing, right? Here is, well, we got this gap, still have a leftover, but it's a nothing burger. So let's continue and look at what is probably up to come and what is most important. Hi, Casey. The most important thing we were actually anxiously waiting for and finally took place is that we switched over a month, right? So now we're actually locked in the previous candlestick, the one that we were saying was significantly above the trend line. Remember that one, right? We have our diagonal trend right here going on like that. And we had this candlestick, and now we have this very next candlestick that is above the trend line. But let's see how it will continue, because right now we're seeing more of that overturning. You're like, well, Greg, it doesn't seem like it moved at all. Again, these tools are very sensitive, especially when it comes to these time frames, and so what we are seeing is quite significant. The fact of the matter that both lines are pointing to the downside. We're seeing potentially this turnover on the bullish side of things, but really if it is going to break down, it won't matter. We're going to see a deceleration of the price action moving into the body of the stochastic RSI. So objectively speaking, we've been waiting for this to overturn. Let's see if we see any hints that are coming from other time frames. Right now we're squeezing a little bit more bullish momentum. As we can see, we're kind of fighting that 80 range on the stochastic, which potentially, if will hold us off and will permit a breakdown, or rather we will have a breakout over the 80 into overbought territory, giving us more bullish momentum. How much more bullish can we really get? Amusingly, right? Really, we discussed this. There is a higher level that we can reach before we actually completely break down. Which in essence on the technical side of things poses a certain resistance on the grand scheme of things, right? Hi, Christoph. And I don't believe we're actually going to get that far based upon how the structure looks right now, because we're seeing like we're already starting to get, well, not bullish, not bearish momentum, but rather weakness in the bullish momentum. For example, this rally, the whole structure that we're getting recently and the way that we're on a 4 hours overbought and are about to probably correct, and actually we're not able to make it. Pardon me, give me a sec. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Pardon me. Now, we're seeing basically this maybe slighter space that we have to make it to the higher end of this channel right now, which gives us roughly about 6,100. We spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. I've presented this potentially to be the higher end of things, but looking at how momentum is structured and how we're objectively, we have a little bit more bullish momentum, but really we're seeing a lot of weakness, whether it comes from the smaller time frames, larger time frames. In other words, we're starting to see what appears to be, again, weakness does not necessarily mean a breakdown, it just could be a temporary correction to close these gaps. So what we're seeing, weakness means could be the beginning of actual correction. Does that really signal right now that we're seeing finally that correction that we've been waiting for? No, that's not necessarily it. What we're starting to see is weakness again. But what we are structured for and we've been waiting for to see is this monthly candlestick, right? How it's going to start formulating, since we're still pretty much in the first day, so it doesn't matter all that much. And we want to see how our 3 months will get readjusted based upon our 1 monthly. So right now we're going to need to wait a little bit, see how the market plays out, whether we're going to have more bullish or rather bearish momentum. My argument is that we're going to probably correct back towards that range. I would argue about 59.49, 59.50, call it, just to put it in simple terms. And once we're going to meet this area where we already have a gap left over, we're probably going to close that gap, or at least find ourselves entangled. Well, we have this gap right below, or at least find ourselves entangled with the lines and the supports and resistances of the previous gaps that were already generated, closed, but it's still the market will respect them. So I'm talking about these. We're talking about the range between 59.50, we said, and the range of 59.08. You might as well call it 59 flat. All right, so I think what again, this is why I didn't really, I was kind of hesitant of going live, because simply there's not much to talk about. There's almost like, it starts to smell like rain, but does it rain? Is it really raining already? No, it's not even dripping yet, but we start to have that smell of rain, if you will, right? That's it. We're going to follow up on the price action in the following days. Of course, as always, I'm going to try and make this more consistent. I usually do. It depends on the schedule and how we change things about, and we'll see how this will evolve. For the time being, it seems like we have weakness. Does that mean necessarily we break down today or tomorrow? Not necessarily, but yes, we are seeing that potentially we are seeing a form of a correction coming up. Alrighty, so again, hello Lydia, Casey, I said, Christoph, hello. Hey, lovely people. Yeah, smash the like, absolutely. I knew you were about to say that. Absolutely, ring the bell. It's very important. That helps the channel grow. Thank you very much, by the way. Weirdly enough, it's kind of weird how we got only 10 people, when in reality, a lot of people joined in. Maybe it's because of the holiday season and people are still busy, Cyber Monday. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what it is, because I had plenty of new members join in, especially on the Black Friday deal that is still ongoing, by the way. Those who want to give it a go, they can try join in on Patreon using Black Friday 90. This promo code that I put in the chat right now will basically allow you to have the first month for $1, just $1 basically. Originally, I wanted to make it so there will be an ability to sign up annually with the discount, but sadly, Patreon does not allow me to do that yet. As soon as that's going to be available, of course, I will notify the members and everybody, and I don't mind if people will resign, redo whatever they need to do in order to get to discount. It doesn't matter. I really think that the people who've been here with me since the beginning and helped me build the community definitely deserve it. So as soon as Patreon makes it available for me to as an offer, I will offer it to you immediately. Boys and girls, you will know about it. For right now, sadly, that's what I could offer. So at least, why not? If you don't like it, 1 month, just, cancel the subscription, $1. I bet anybody and everybody can afford that, especially for the great value we have in the community. Great hangouts, conversations, which... Don't forget to use that, boys and girls. Join in throughout the day. Those who are Patreons, join in on Discord. I'm hanging out in the open forum. Just join in and ask me questions, especially the more complex questions, those that we can't discuss right here simply because it takes too long. Hi, Greg. Can you analyze Cooler please. Judy, no problem. Just for future reference, please put a star next to the ticker, and that way I will notice it immediately. It will be very difficult for me to notice otherwise. We should we? No, we don't need to use that one. No, we shouldn't use that one either. We can use that one. KULR, you said, right? Alrighty, let's do KULR. Why not? Why not? What can we find here? Let's look at that. That's a weird one. What happened here? How does it treat them all together? Does it treat them in some way, or it doesn't treat them in any way whatsoever? Okay, so that is suspicious. It is looking like you've been artificially moved higher. That was what, earnings that moved you higher? Right, probably makes sense. Okay, but that is not a healthy condition right here. Okay, let's look at this for a second objectively. What is where's the trick? So that was first cycle, opened up to second cycle. Okay, so you got, oh, that sucks so bad. To do and many do's and many to do's. Does it? It does. Now, 133. So you have, I can tell you already, you have a strong support resistance at around 130. Is it 130? Really? 130? Yes, 130. Like that, you have a strong support resistance, and you obviously have something here as well, that higher end of things, and it sits somewhere around there, I would argue. Bam, like a magician, almost like a magician. Yeah, almost like a magician. Almost. I really wanted to see this. Perfect. Alrighty. So now that we found these, now that we know about your one, which you have somewhere around here. Let's make it like that so you can see it well. And under the context of things, get ready for 130, and then that formation that you have right there, beautiful thingy that is going on right there, that beautiful wedgie thingy that we have. Sorry, pardon me for my inability to draw, but that's thing, that slice of cheese. And yeah, so very, very probable. This structure is very, very, very probable. Extremely probable in this instance. More down, moving towards closing the gap, subsequently locking yourself in that wedge that is between that resistance and your trend line, which channel rather. Doing that, it will take you probably a couple of sessions right there, and once you're done within about a week time ish, you are going to be moving lower. Does that mean you're going to be breaking down here? No, not necessarily, But yes, it appears to be that you're far more likely to be testing sooner than later. I would argue maybe the range of 2 to 3 weeks testing one again. No, it was contracts. Okay, gotcha. That is even worse. If it is contracts, it is usually it's gonna be shorter lived, if you will, and that kind of falls in line with what the technicals are saying. You could be end up doing a lot worse and dropping into this wedge, but I don't think that's the case based upon the momentum. You're kind of up in the air, meaning you have a mix of bearish and bullish. Usually a mix of bearish and bullish ends up with having, again, if you're dominant, if you're more dominant bearish, but you have a mix, at the end of the day, it's not going to be dominant enough, which means you're going to have some corrections on that behavior. And it also makes total sense. I mean, we know the market doesn't really like gaps and oftentimes end up closing them, probably retesting the range and only then breaking down further. So that kind of plays in line. And I think your current location that you should be looking at is one. I don't know if the market will insist on closing what you have here below. It might. It actually might, but at the moment it doesn't appear to be that you have enough momentum for that. At the time, it appears to be that you have enough momentum for one. If you make it to $1, right? Let's discuss it further on, again on another live. But right now, I would argue that, yeah, you're probably going to correct this further downwards rather than correct to the upside. Even if you're going to have some impulses to the upside, like the smaller time frames, like this, for example, you might test 152 and your diagonal. You might get locked into that wedge first and then start the whole process that I've just said. But this is not going to take you longer than a couple of sessions. So in the short, really, really short term, you should be fine. All in all, maybe correct here, right? Because you're still in oversold anyways, so that makes sense. Test this, test back up, wedge, back down, and only then down. That kind of makes more sense of your potential structure rather than just a continuation downwards. So it's not straightforward. A little bit of up, then down. But then again, don't. The fact that it still tries to move upwards and maybe to that 50%, which is 196, attempts to doesn't mean it will succeed, and more so it will probably fail midway and break back down to that 130, as we said, or subsequently eventually to the $1. Your path here is not great. You're going back to $1 basically. The market wants to. Whether it will succeed, we'll see. That's it. We're done with that one. More ticker. Come on, more ticker before we need to run. My pleasure, Judy. I hope that helps. It's not exactly an explosive stock that I would be willing to put too much into. I would argue, right? So I'm thinking you're probably not overloaded on that either. You're probably trading here and there, just making a little bit of money off the top from the the movement. So sure, why not? That's not a. Just be careful. Just be very careful because it's a very cheap asset doesn't mean it cannot punish you very quickly. Alrighty. All right. If you have more tickers, now is the time. Otherwise, we're gonna adjourn today's live. I don't know. I think I caught everybody in still in weekend mode, maybe, or still just very busy with the holidays and family and stuff, or the aftermath. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving and a good hangout with your family and all that beautiful stuff. Good long weekend as well. Alrighty, boys and girls, ticker, or otherwise we adjourn today's live. I'm not threatening, I'm just saying. It's just because we have soon Tom's Academy meeting as well and then we have a hangout afterwards with my Patreon members. So, right. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes. We're gonna stare at the S&P. I don't have much to say, otherwise that I'm a little bit sick, as you can hear. I'm sorry for that, but again, that's partially part of the reason why I didn't go live. And yeah, not like the market was too exciting either. Which it's not being too exciting today as well. But I think that what we're seeing is slowly that deterioration of that bullish momentum. And I mean, right now, the true story is to see how the jobless claims numbers will be like, how CPI will come in like. We're still looking at these, and we still care about inflation, believe it or not. I wanna do another check with the with the Fed's balance sheet and see really what they're doing, more so buying or selling. What is the underline of what's going on? Bottom line. So, yeah, there's a lot more to, keep our eyes peeled at this the upcoming couple of weeks. And yeah, it will dictate how we're gonna proceed this month. At the end of the day, this is what we've been waiting for in a lot of ways, to see how really the monthly chart will adjust based upon price action. We'll see whether this candlestick will prove that we're testing currently that resistance, that support, resistance, whatever it is, whatever you want to define it as, because right now we're above it, so it's support basically, or in terms of channel. But I do forecast that based upon this structure, we're about to fail very, very shortly, and pain is short, just, around the corner. So I would recommend to everybody to be very, very careful, especially the traders amongst us. Let's see. Is my chat not really doing its thing or something? Because I'm not seeing any comments from you boys and girls. Nothing new, rather. Give me a sec. No. Thank you, Lydia. No, I'm okay. It's I got my tonsils got swollen a little bit, but it's nothing I can't handle. In fact, I'm already feeling a lot better, and all it takes is gargling a little bit of hot water with apple cider vinegar, and you're better in no time. So I am much better. I really am. Thank you for the regards and wishes. I appreciate it. 14 people, 7 more. I would appreciate your likes. Trust me, they're free. I swear the like is free. You will not be charged for pressing the like. That will help me a lot. That's it. Well, boys and girls, I think we're gonna adjourn today's session because we're not getting any tickers off of you. And I get it, the market is rather boring. There's not much to look at. We've analyzed most of everything. I mean, we're just kind of following up and seeing the market just being rather flat-ish, nothing all that abnormal, no numbers that we haven't forecasted nor expected, so all kind of regular. Now we just have to wait and see how the price action really pans out, right? Let's look at this beautiful thing. Let's see what we're getting there. Hood. All right, Emil. Last second. Normally I wouldn't do that, but let's do that. Why not? Emil, you want Hood? Let's do Hood. Normally, as if I'm already saying we're gonna adjourn the session, we're gonna adjourn the session. But if you insist, no worries, Emil. No worries. I'm just kidding. Let's do this. Let's see what Hood says. Hood. Your Robin Hoods, which I think I remember us speaking about how we had this negative wedge forming in between the channels. So we're kind of intertwined between the two. I think we spoke about this whole thing last week and how suspicious it looks to me, which makes total sense. Right there, what is that? That is more... What is that? What are you? You are more... Well, I'll tell you what. Given the fact of the matter that you have so many wedges that are formulating towards the 4099, I'm not going to be surprised if you're going to test the 4099 before you do anything else, right? Once you do, when you are successful at testing 4099, or in other words, call it a range of between 40 to about 42, okay? That is your range, 40 to 42, which does not surprise me. I mean, obviously, that doesn't surprise me at all. Why am I saying 42? Because if your higher, if your actual resistance will be at 40.99, which is, in other words, call it 41, you might as well assess for slippage to 42 and maybe even above 42 to 42 and a bit. So in other words, to 43. So yeah, I'm in fact being generous by saying 42. You could actually slip from all the way from 41 to 43. It's not unheard of, not out of the realm of possibility. In fact, because we're looking at the larger time frames, it completely makes sense. So yeah, that is about roughly about that range where I kind of put it. So don't be surprised if you can make it all the way to there. But your actual resistance slash support will be that 40.99. Okay, so that is first 40.99, then back down to 33, 32, 31, kind of. 33, 32, 31. Call it that range, basically, because we don't know how steep it's going to be, how long it will take, but it's going to be anywhere between, 31-ish, maybe with some slippage, to 33, following the channel as it rises higher, back to testing your wedge, and 28.36. That is your eventuality. Because everything is right now so goddamn hot, and it looked like it ran its course and about to correct. So yeah, I mean, guys, don't hate on me just telling you the numbers and showing you what should and could be your various supports and resistances. Also, I believe you probably have something somewhere around here which gives you like what, 36, 35, 36, I would believe. I can probably find it very easily like that. Where are you hiding? Where are you hiding? I bet it's 36. No, actually, it could be like 30. It could be lower. It could be like this one. Definitely seeing some suspicious movement here. It can be somewhere around here. It could be both, by the way. Yeah, I'm probably have something around here, and I could be off on that one, or actually both. And I would argue that you have 36. Oh, come on, so close. Dick move. Right, like that, like so, as so, yes, so as. Alrighty, that's that. That is hood for you. Basically, you're entangled right now. That is your high range, that 40.99, and you're far more likely to correct to that 28, call it 30, 28 range when stuff is gonna hit the fan. Don't forget, you have some gaps, I remember, to close below. What is that? Is that this one something? Or no, this one. Yeah, it's that one. That one that my mind is probably fixated on. And maybe some leftover here as well. So I'm not gonna be surprised. You have some stuff to do here. You have some chores, sir. Alrighty, some chores to take care of. That is it. And don't forget that the time, we're not here to determine how quickly something will happen. If we can assess, give or take, based upon what we're seeing, give or take, it doesn't mean we actually expect it to. Remember, if let's say you go out of home, and you're on your way to work and there is a traffic jam or an accident or something, yeah, it might take you longer, you might take another exit, but it doesn't change your destination. I'm usually not able to catch you live, but always watch. I believe your thesis of a wider market correction and because of you now have a good insurance. I love what you are saying, sir. Emil, I will tell you what, again, it is not just my thesis. If you look at the broader market and if you look at the experts that have been doing this for years on end from various institutions, people who are very serious and can break down the whole thesis and show some evidence and some material substance to say, well, this is what I'm seeing. It's not even my bias. I have a position accordingly. Otherwise, I'll be just, squandering an opportunity that I recognize. Why not? But this thing can prolong. We said in the first place, like, look, guys and girls, I'm never biased about this. I'm always showing you what the market is showing that it is planning to do. I, of course, have a position on that, as we said, broader correction, broader, well, wave down. But I don't mind. I have the threshold, the pain threshold, the ability to take that sort of position. Some people don't necessarily have that and don't know how to do proper technical analysis. But you know what? Being informed and understanding why something is happening, sometimes just that helps. Dealing with the pain doesn't necessarily mean that everybody needs to be selling and all that. If you're not confident enough with your own thesis, because remember, you shouldn't, this is not financial advice. You shouldn't be doing this because I'm doing this. You should be having your own understanding that you believe or see the logic in that wider correction, right? And if you do, you should take according steps. Just, safety measures that any logical human being should, right? So I tremendously like to hear that people are taking these theses very seriously and are at least, no, look, at the end of the day, building a bunker doesn't mean you have to sit there all day and all night, right? But in case of, you have a solution. So yeah, I love that people are really taking this stuff absolutely seriously. 100%, because Tom shouted you out. I went and did my research. Thank you very much, Emil. Again, Tom and I speak often. Tom knows very much my thesis and about things, and he's seen how accurate I've been about various things, and he understands how difficult it is to predict. And of course, there is the narrative and the sort of the process of what he does and how he does, and so he more advocates for people to stay in that lane because, well, people get confused very easily and do things they shouldn't be doing, and it makes sense. At the end of the day, Tom is listening very carefully to what I say, and in general, his own understanding of the market knowledge. At the end of the day, he's a great analyst. There's a reason why I enjoy speaking to Tom, and he legitimately is one of the best I've met in the industry throughout my career. And Tom, even through his side, sees how the market is over exuberant and have been for a long time, and we know it can stay over exuberant for a long time, even longer, right? We said the market can be rational longer and we can remain solvent. This is it's a known quote, right? It's a known status of the market, if you will, condition. And realistically speaking, sure, this can prolong, but the question is, can it prolong into oblivion and the whole thing can, go up in flames? It will never happen. I don't think so. That's not how things work. And I would highly recommend getting yourself familiarized, those who don't know what I'm talking about, with history. History doesn't mean necessarily, knowing history doesn't necessarily mean that you are completely ready and history will repeat itself perfectly. No, but you will be better armed, prepared to understand what potentially could be happening. All right? You're awesome. Keep it up. The good streams. Emil, thank you very much. Heart emoji thingy right back at you. Plenty right back. I tremendously appreciate you, community members that join in, watch later. It doesn't matter. That what builds the community. That what builds this channel. That what promotes me to continue and show you this stuff. I know it in the first place. I mean, actually, I'm starting to understand how Michael Burry maybe felt for like a long time, because people think Michael Burry just kind of, sat in his position for over a weekend or two and then everything was fine. No, he was preparing and seeing his, thesis play out for a very, very long process, and it was very tedious. And now I really truly understand, because I've never felt, sort of so disliked, I guess, for such a long period. And people, oh, you're great, you're just a bear. It's like, guys, I was the only bullish person around during COVID, and I predicted the bottom so much in advance. Really, I'm just showing what the market gives us and, play it accordingly. That's all, right? I'm not biased one way or another. I'm biased towards money. Give me more money. That is the whole shtick, right? And the shtick is all very simple. We cannot get more money without understanding what the market is doing. Sure, it may take longer than you expect. This is why we don't time the market, but rather we actually analyze what the grand scheme of the move, the trend, the cycle that is taking place. Far more important, actually, at the end of the day, yields us with good swings. That's what I'm aiming for a good swing. Swing is far better, far safer, far simpler than day trading. I'm not knocking on day trading. It's just only if you know what you're doing and you do it right. It's not a simple task. A full-time job, in fact. All right, boys and girls, we are going to have Tom's Academy in about 7 minutes, so I'm going to adjourn this meeting. I hope to see you tomorrow. Don't forget to sign up for Patreon, those who are not. There's still the Black Friday deal going on. Use the promo code BF90. Why is it not doing that yet? BF90, this promo code will give you the ability to sign up for my Patreon. Only $1 for this first month. I wish I could make it consistent. Right now I can't. Patreon still does not allow me. I'm too new or whatever type of deal. Soon I will be able to allow the members to sign up with a discount for a longer duration, and I will redo a sort of a Black Friday sale, but it is what it is for right now. If you want to participate in the 100% private Discord in which I hang out on the daily basis, have hangouts with my students and meetings and post all sorts of stuff that I think it's very important to know and be aware of in the industry, and analysis over particular tickers, anything and everything. Basically, why am I being a schmuck? Let me just show it. Here is the Discord. Let me just do that for a second. Here is the Discord. I announce when I go live, so you never miss it. Here is the open forum where we hang out. I don't know why it's not showing, but the tickers, where we have various tickers, and I post charts so you can see my updates on the things, right? The various analysis and discussions, subsequent discussions in the main chat and all that beautiful stuff. And I announce when I'm open for Q&A. So yeah, $1 a month and you get to hang out with me on a daily basis, ask questions and talk to me and whatnot. Pretty cool. That's it. Boys and girls, you have a wonderful evening. I will see you on the next one. And that's it. Yeah, see you on the next one. Bye-bye.